Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play OpenTTD episode 7. So in the previous episode we finished up building this sideline hub, but I noticed I screwed up some of these signals, so I'll adjust these. But in the last few episodes we have been doing a lot of upgrading and building of hubs. So in this episode I think rather than upgrading this junction here, which will probably be the next thing to do, we'll expand the network and add some more stations. So if we look at the industry chains and look at the goods, so the way I'm planning on setting up this map is we have the oil refinery in one corner, and then over in this corner we have the steel mill which supplies the factory, and then in the other two corners way over on the top of the map to the left we'll have the sawmill and the factory. So then the place I want to have the goods go is going to be this corner, because it doesn't have a good producing industry, it just has the steel here. So once we have a goods drop over in this corner, we can start moving the goods out from this oil refinery, which is collecting oil. Oil is piling up. I think around 30k oil. It starts to just get deleted and we don't get paid anymore. So it will be good to get that moving. Or maybe looks like it might be topped out at 15. But yeah, we don't want our oil getting deleted. We want to make sure we get those goods moving, and goods pay pretty well, so that'll help with our income. So let's find a town. Just use the station. So Sleffing Bridge here will accept goods. I don't really want to build too close to these two stations since they need room to expand, so probably not one of those two towns. And the other option is, I guess, Laughing Fields here. I'm not sure which is better. If we have Laughing Fields, the main line would probably go up along the shoreline here, and we'd have to have a hub in this area. So we'd have one backbone hub here and one backbone or main station hub right here, which would be a little bit close. We could also go around the lake maybe, but that seems kind of taking a longer route for no reason. Maybe if we just do Sleffing Bridge, connect it up right here, and there's a lot of room there. So I guess actually let's go with Sleffing Bridge then. So whenever you have a new town that you're going to build a station next to, one thing to consider is that as soon as you start building the station and building tracks, trees are going to get destroyed, and the local authorities hate that. So it's good to make sure to place down whatever stations you want first. And in this case, I'm going to place down some dummy bus stations to grow the town, and also to appease the local authority, because the local authority likes it when you serve stations. Hopefully we have the bus available now. Didn't have that previously. So if we just have a few buses like that, these will go around, these will make sure the city grows, because this is only barely accepting goods, and it'll also in the long term keep the local authority up. You can see, I guess right now it's very good because we have this station over here which has been getting serviced. So once we have that, we can drop down our railway station to a goods station to make sure it accepts goods. I think we have to demolish that road. Let's put it right up against here. 10 tiles long. We can do 3 platforms for now. And that should be good. And you can see as soon as we do that, well, it destroyed some trees, but when we put some tracks through, that'll make the local authority dislike us even more. So good to put down those stations first. So next we just need to connect this up to the rest of the line. So over here somewhere. So I moved the station forward by 3 tiles so we can have some more room on the back to do a proper Ro-Ro station where trains enter from one side and exit on the other side. But when that happened, it seems the station no longer accepts cargo. So there's a trick to fix that. We can get out a truck station, find somewhere that does accept goods. So like right there. Hold control and connect that to Slenfing Bridge West, and that'll create a connected station. So as you can see, now it accepts goods. Alright, so here we go. So there's nothing too fancy about this station. I guess one thing to note is that just like you can synchronize bridges, when you have this diamond shape, it makes sure all the tracks are the same length. You can sort of do a similar thing with stations. So since all these station tracks are the same length, it'll sort of keep the trains more in sync. And since they all should take the same amount of time to drop off goods, that should keep them in sync. Though actually, I guess since they enter the station at different times, it might be a little off. But overall, one thing to keep in mind. And then over here, we just connect it up with a bridge. And finally, I'm just going to add some roads to Slenfing Bridge to give it some room to build some new buildings. Just make sure they're next to the station so we get that coverage and we can make sure we can keep delivering goods here. So next we need to build the pickup for the oil refinery. So we already have the drop station, but you always got to have a separate pickup so the trains picking up cargo don't block the trains dropping off cargo. If you do that, you could get a deadlock. So I'm thinking we'll have probably a third track come around and do a Ro-Ro station on the other side of the oil refinery. Problem is there is a river in the way, and normally I like to avoid demolishing rivers as much as I can, but in this case it's really in the way, and in the future we'll have to upgrade the station and it's just going to get destroyed anyway, so I'm going to demolish it. So let's get a goods station. Down a little 3x10, and I'm matching the same station width or station capacity as the drop because they should be about the same, though potentially trains will be spending more time on this end waiting for cargo to appear. And we might need to realign this a little bit. Definitely going to have to adjust the split. So currently it splits 2 ways, but I want it to split 3 ways now. So I'm going to move this back a little bit to give a little bit more room on this outer line. So in this case, I think we'll extend this bridge, give a little bit more space, in which case we can have another line split off, something like that. Oil wells are in the way, unfortunately. So let's see. Try moving this forward a little bit. Make a little bit more room on this end. Oh gosh, trains are going to be getting lost. I guess coal is fine, but the oil trains, we got to make sure they don't go the wrong way, because they'll try and go to the coal drop station. Okay. Probably ought to just double up this bridge at this point. But now that we have this, I can put a bridge here. Sneak that line through underneath. Let's do the doubling up. Make it have slightly higher capacity there. Wait for this train to get out of the way. And there we go. So that's going to be the inner line coming out here. And I guess maybe we'll go all the way around. Or maybe, yeah, I guess so. This station should probably be moved to at some point, but this forest is in the way. So I'm just going to buy some land up around here to make sure that new industries that appear don't get in our way, because I really need this space in the future. So this will just prevent any other industries from appearing. Hopefully eventually this forest will die. It's at relatively low production, so it should be dying eventually. Oops. Rolling my fingers on the hotkeys a little too hard, too chaotically. I guess actually, have more bridges. And then we can go up around from the middle like this. Have the station entrance. Do a bit of terraforming, make sure we have our full turn length, just because it's nice to have. Doesn't really matter at that point. In this case, the lines aren't in sync. It's less important for pickup stations since trains spend different amounts of time waiting for their cargo to appear. And then finally, we'll split off this third line over here. Oil wells in the way, go around them. That aligns nicely. We can just bridge over and fit this third station in. Make sure this is connected and make sure, could realign this a little bit maybe. Just want to move the split as far back as possible because it gives more room for trains to be backed up. But we probably will need an overflow on this line. I'm not going to do it quite yet. And let's also move this split over here, just since that'll give this line a little more room. Alright, so there we go. We have the spaghetti bowl over here, splitting 3 ways. This merge isn't very good because we just have 2 lines going to one track and the other track gets its own track out. So that should be adjusted a bit, but I'm not gonna worry about it just yet. Let's get some trains going. I am excited to finally get some new trains going, get a new train line on our map. Actually, let's not do it like that. I want to make sure this track or this depot is invisible to the main line. So let's just clone one of these oil trains, refit it to goods, get rid of these old orders, full load goods there, hold control to get the full load, and down here, do the unload all and no loading. No loading doesn't really matter, but just for safety, good measure. And let's start out with 5. Probably need way more than that. I'm excited to see how much goods this station's or this oil refinery is going to produce, since we have so much oil waiting and we have coal waiting at the power plant. So let's keep an eye on these trains. So these trains are going to go all the way down through the map, through the upgraded tracks, but also through these unupgraded areas. And somehow this flat junction is still managing to keep up with traffic. So I'm just gonna see how much traffic it can handle. So let's go around the map while we're waiting and find or check on our stations. So over here, it's good to always have a train loading at all times. So I'm going to go ahead and add a train there. This one has a train also just left and there's quite a bit waiting. So I'll add a train there. This corner seems to be doing pretty well. No cargo waiting, just trains waiting. And we'll continue following the tracks around. Our coal station over here has quite a bit waiting, so let's add a bunch more trains. Maybe 3 will be good, because there's also trains coming back. And once they start making some more loops, the overall amount should go down. Oil over here, add 1 train, just so we have one waiting again. Oh, and our oil has jammed up actually. So we can see these trains are all backing up and now they're blocking this intersection. So I guess the actual station broke before this junction did. So let's actually go ahead and add an overflow here real quick. Okay, that train got in the way. Let me turn it around. And I'll just do a really simple overflow. So we just need, let's see, a full train length of track. So that was 6 plus 4 is 10, so that'll work. Have a little spur for the pathfinder and put a depot here and make this a 2-way exit signal. So then this train will see this as the dead end, or see it as a dead end, so it'll go on the spur track and then turn around and enter the depot and be stuck there. So this is not a very high capacity overflow, but it will work for now, and our trains are really slow anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So that'll make sure we don't have them backing up like this train's about to. So that's going to be fine, it seems. Plenty of trains there. What else do we need to upgrade? I guess we just have this oil over here is the last one, and that has a train waiting, so that's fine. So at this point, let's see, we have 108 trains, so we're making steady progress. And our first goods train is coming. Here we go. There are all the goods. Nice to finally see something other than tankers and hopper cars. Let's add some more trains. Seems like it's filling up at a pretty decent pace over here. And we're producing 270 crates of goods currently, and the oil is still pretty much topped off. So let's go ahead and actually put an overflow here as well. So just have to see, I guess now that train's in the way. So let's actually count backwards. So we have a train there. I just made it an entry signal to mark that's where trains stop. Actually, it stops here, not there. So if we go back there, 8, 9, 10. So the very last tile of the train is here. So we want a 2-way right there. It's not a very good spot, but it'll work. So we can put a depot here, get rid of the old one. Can't see anything. Let's just get rid of that track, even though it doesn't matter since I don't have 90-degree turns on. I have 2 plus, what was that, 8? Yeah, 8. So that will be an overflow just like the other one. Simple overflow, not high capacity or anything, but just to make sure we don't get any jams. And turn that transparency back on. And then we can spam trains without worry. We can just add a few more, a couple more. Okay, we're making a lot of goods, so this is going to bring in a lot of money. So down in the bottom corner of the map, our steel mill is also probably approaching the point where it's going to reach the cap, the iron cap, and we'll stop getting paid for things. So we should also get our factory going. Now if we look at the map, let's see. So summary of the plan again. We have the oil there, steel here, factory in the top, and sawmill over here. So I think we can start expanding our territory. We could build out a main line through these hills over to the top corner of the map. It'd be a big expansion, but I think while we're waiting for these trains to make their first trip, we can do a little montage of that. But before we actually do a montage, let's plan out the route a little bit. So we have this track heading out here, and we can just continue it along the flat shoreline area. Maybe we could go up this way, but Glenwood is very much in the way if we go up. So I guess we'll keep following along the south shoreline over here. I'll just lay down some markers. Sarwood is also in the way. Also, why can't these towns have normal names? It's pretty hard to pronounce. And at this point, this, I guess, will branch off to the south side, so we'll try and keep up here. Maybe go around this way, over that river, around this shore, by Cutting Hatton. And maybe we'll have a backbone hub around here. We'll see. Keep going up and around, keeping on mainly the flat areas where it's easy to build. And all the way up. That's a pretty big city. Findborough Bay. And it's quite a large map. I'm going pretty far with this. Go over through this pass over here, along this shoreline. I guess we'll go around this way to avoid that city over there. Excuse me. And finally have a factory here, so I guess we can, if that doesn't close, we can service that one. Let's see, how do we get there though? Should we go around the top maybe? I think that's probably a little easier. So just head around there, maybe go through Flinding Hatton. Might get demolished eventually, like some of the other cities. And we'll go around like this. Sure. So there we go. And meanwhile, this train is slowly making its way to the goods drop. And taking a break, this train, our first goods train, is about to arrive. Want to see how much money this makes. Should be a lot, I think. We'll see. $24. Is that a lot? Doesn't seem like much. Oh well. How much does our normal train make? How much do these oil trains? These oil trains make more money. What's up with that? Let's see. Cargo payment rates. So we got oil. Disable all. Oil and goods. Yeah, goods should pay more than oil, but I guess these trains are just so slow that the goods fall off a lot harder than oil does, so it could also be that the oil is moving a longer distance, but I think that's a pretty decent distance across the width of the map. Oh well, not making that much money, but it doesn't really matter as long as we're making sure this oil isn't at its limit so it doesn't get deleted. And these trains are all full, so we need to add a lot more, clearly. These are all full, so that means we need at least double the number of trains. So That's 7, so we can add, or it's 8, add 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let those head out. I mean, there's already 10 loads of cargo here, so we probably even need more than that. Add like 4 more. So we'll keep adding trains there. And even if they don't make that much money, at least it means the oil trains aren't getting their cargo deleted, so we're making money there anyway. You can see our profit is going way up. It's going a bit wild for the last few months, last year or so. But things are looking up. Taking a little intermission here. We're about at the halfway point, and this is quite a large expansion, taken a lot longer than I was expecting. Let's take a look at our operating profit. Looks like it's sort of leveled out here, and it looks like we've about doubled, or maybe even a little more than that, 2.5 times our profit just by adding that one line. Now over on this coal line we can see, looks like I added a few too many trains, as they are now all backed up almost all the way to this backbone hub, but I don't think they'll back up that far, so I'm not going to worry about it yet. Let's actually check on these individual platforms. Oh yeah, so these are going to need some more trains. Add some more feeder trains. Going to need another one on this line. See how we can fit this in. I guess we can just squeeze in another little cross like that and just... Where are you going? That is not where you're trying to go. Please turn around. Okay. We can just squeeze it in, do the exact same thing, and not have actually a two-way track there or anything. Clone one of these guys. Yeah, we might need to upgrade this as well. And how's this one over here? This one's actually doing fine. And also, well, I guess let's check on the other feeder over here. Yeah, these look like they are doing all right. And over at our goods pickup, looks like the first train has just about completed, or one of the first trains has completed a full circuit. And we can see more trains are full than are empty, so that says we do actually need to add a few more trains, and you can see there's a lot of cargo waiting. So let's go ahead and add 4 more maybe. And we got the third engine. I didn't upgrade to the second engine, but we do have the third engine now, so maybe we'll just skip the second engine, and we can upgrade straight to the third engine, which goes 10 kilometers per hour faster and is slightly better acceleration, but it's not much better. I just took a look at the time on this episode and we are out of time, so we are not going to be finishing the expansion today. I'll do that next episode probably. And as we can see here, the flat junction is still sort of holding up, starting to jam a little bit over here as we can see these trains backed up. But it's still managing somehow. And if we check on our goods station, we are getting 820 crates of goods per month, which is pretty good. And the oil is still at 14,000. Cap is at 15,000, so we're doing pretty well. Only 33% transported though. So guess we're going to need to add even more trains to that. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll see you next time.